Hey guys, so I was just thinking these thoughts to myself, and I thought I would make a video because why not? My channel isn't particularly about any specific topic, and this is a new kind of topic I want to talk about. So I don't know how many of you guys were around in the old days of YouTube, but you see, I think you guys know this from the title. But there's a show on YouTube that lasted for several years, and it's called Equals Three. It's a joke because the signs equal and then three, they look like a penis, and so it's an immature joke, and the whole show is a bunch of immature jokes. That's the whole show, and I think it was two episodes a week, maybe Monday and Thursday, something like that. Monday, Friday, I don't remember exactly. Tuesday, Saturday, I don't know. Anyway, and that was a show by this guy Ray William Johnson, um, and it was the best show on YouTube by far. And he shut down the show some time ago, and YouTube has never been the same since because there's nothing like that show. It's a very unique show. But see, Ray William Johnson, he was making so he started making the show. He started making these videos uh, in the very early days of YouTube, and it was just him in front of a camera just talking. It was very, very, very low production levels, and yeah, it was very, very small. It was a very small start, and then it grew in popularity, and he got bigger and better production, uh, like space and cameras and better lighting and everything. And then he got a crew to help him write the episodes and film them and stuff like that. And the operation just kept growing and growing over time. Uh, but but at some point he realized that he wasn't enjoying making the episodes as he used to. He didn't like the he didn't like that the show and the jokes were so immature. He got kind of sick of it, you know, and he wanted more adult, more mature form of comedy. Um, and it was a sad day when he mentioned that. It sucked because we the viewers really thought that he enjoyed them as much as we did. He used to at some point, but at some point he kind of he stopped enjoying them as much, and then he started hiring or bringing on these guest hosts, and then at some point he hired a host to replace him to run the show, and that was in the late days of the show. Uh, and when he did that, when he hired another host to completely replace Ray William Johnson, the creator, the face of the show, the views just plummeted. The dislikes skyrocketed. People just didn't like it. He tried different hosts. We didn't like any of the other hosts. Some of us liked the new hosts. Some of us accepted the new hosts because we knew it made Ray William Johnson happier. But generally speaking, the show just wasn't the same. We hated the show. We didn't hate the show, but we hated the fact that the show was changing because we loved the show. The show Equals Three was YouTube. It was the heart of YouTube. And if the new episode comes out, then we have something to watch. Like we can go and watch YouTube. But then when the episode, like after we watch the episode and we wait for the next episode, that's where the rest of YouTube comes into play. The rest of YouTube, all the other channels are just there to fill the blanks and the space between those two episodes. And that was the case for many, many, many people. Not all of us, but many, many people. Maybe hundreds of thousands of people, maybe. Because the views were regularly getting multiple millions of views. Like every episode got millions of views. Um, and yeah, it's a sad day when the show started to change. And one day he actually made the last episode of Equals Three, and then he shut down the show. Ray, Ray, Ray William Johnson shut down the show, and that was a pivotal point in YouTube history. I personally believe that that's what it's like to me. I don't know if that's the case for everybody else. It probably isn't, but I'm sure it's the case for many people other than me. Um, and ever since he shut down the show, again, YouTube was just never the same. YouTube was never ever the same. That sucks. We just loved Equals Three. Now this popped in my head because I realized that I like when Ray William Johnson shut down Equals Three, he he had in mind that he's gonna do more public, uh, real, adult, mature comedy, you know, and not just YouTube videos, but he wanted to make it in the real world, so to speak. But I just realized he didn't make a name for himself, and maybe it's just because I'm not looking, I'm not really watching comedy, you know, it's just not my thing. But I know co- some comics' names, you know, the big ones, I guess. I'm just surprised that I haven't heard about Ray William Johnson uh, in a long time, and that kind of sucks. I was hoping Equals Three would be the first step in his career and his life, not the last. That really sucks. Equals Three was a very unique show. It was very special. There's nothing like it. There's no humor like it. There's no comedy like it. There's no commentary like it. There's no show on YouTube like it. There isn't. There's many shows, but they're just not the same. None of them make me laugh nearly as much as Equals Three does. And I can go back and watch the episodes, which I did before, and I'm probably gonna do it again at some point in the future. But at this point, I really just hope that, and this is kind of a fear I have in the back of my head, that the episodes go away, that they're either deleted from YouTube or they're just lost forever. That's a fear. I want the episode. I want the show to to exist and be accessible to us to watch whenever we want forever. Because I do believe that humor, that comedy, it's never gonna get old. I think it's always gonna be funny. It's immature, but I think it's timeless. Maybe not. Maybe I'm exaggerating how profound I'm making it sound like. But God, man, there's just like, ever since the show stops, or better yet, ever since Ray hired a new host to replace him, there's been this void on YouTube, and it's never been filled. It's still there. I still feel it. I still sense it. There's nothing that's gonna fill a void. There's a lot of other great shows, and I really like a lot of other channels, but it's just nothing like Equals Three. It was such good, harmless, and good comedy. It was funny. It was funny. It wasn't dramatic. You know, it wasn't fleeting humor. It was just comedy. It was just funny. It was just funny to watch. And it wasn't hurting anybody. Everybody loved it. Like, it wasn't offensive to anybody. There was some kind of offensive humor, but it wasn't offensive. It was just humor. It was just funny. Man, like Ray William Johnson made us laugh and smile for years. I really hope he's living a good life. I'm sad to 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 remember and realize that after years of him having stopped the show, that I'm not seeing him more successful in the real world. Let's say I was hoping he'd be like bigger, you know. I was hoping he'd make it big in the world. I was hoping he'd really shine out there and gain a much larger, much more grandiose audience than the immature jokes he was making on YouTube. And I I was really really sad when I found out that he no longer enjoyed making Equals Free, even though we were laughing our asses off because it was still hilarious. Even though he didn't enjoy it as much as he did previously, but it was still an amazing show. I just love the show so much. I just fucking love it so much. And yeah, it's kind of sad to realize that that show is never coming back. That there's never gonna be new episodes of Equals Three. Never. They could make it with another host again, but that's just not the same Equals Three. You know, I mean, even the name is immature, childish comedy. You know, God, I love it. And I like he. I think his first guest host was that that big comic, that big guy, Iglesias. His name was something Iglesias. I don't remember his name, but he's an actual stand-up comic, by the way. He has a show on Netflix and stuff he's actually like a real world comic, right? Um, but his hosting of Equals Three was nowhere near as funny and hilarious as Ray William Johnson's. And Ray, I think he had a project that was called Your Favorite Martian. It was a bunch of music videos. I love those music videos too. I especially love the first album, which had the song "Zombie Love," was something to do with zombies falling in love, and another song of Orphan Tears. Orphan Tears. I love Orphan Tears. Yeah, I just love Orphan Tears. That's amazing. What else did he have? Well, his very famous "Doing Your Mom" song, but that was before your favorite Martian, I think. It was very very immature. Like the song was just saying "Doing your mom, doing your mom." It was amazing. I loved it so much. Like it was so obviously childish, immature humor. It was so obviously like that the song was a joke basically. It was just funny. I really love how he's so committed to his humor. He's so committed to his comedy, and God, it's just amazing. That's just amazing. Um, so what else? He had Orphan Tears and the whole zombie love song. I can't remember what. I can't remember. I cannot remember. Shit. Yeah, I can't remember any of them. Yeah, but yeah, I just he had that project going, and the thing he made sure that he does when he had a guest host or when he hired new hosts, that he gave them complete freedom and autonomy in how they would run the show, and they would each of them would put in their personal touch to the show. And so, even though it was always Equals Three with basically the same format, the the show under different hosts was a completely different show. So it wasn't necessarily worse, even though personally I think they were worse, but they were like completely different. And I like that he gave them so much autonomy. So I'm just I'm sensing a lot of goodwill coming out of Ray William Johnson, and a lot of authenticity and honesty, and that's just so respectable and admirable. You know, like he is without a doubt my absolute favorite YouTuber or content creator of any kind I have ever come across in my life. Period. Absolutely the top. And he had this other show, his vlogging show. I think it had a name. I think in the beginning it had a name. What was it? New York something, Los Angeles something. I don't know, something like that. Yeah, and it was with him and a couple other guys. I think there was a girl. Yeah, and then he started dating her, and then they broke up, and I think they did like him and that girl did a show. Like they actually wrote a movie, I think, and they directed it. I think Ray William Johnson was the director, and she was a writer slash producer, I think. So that was an actual production that they made. So it was just great. I didn't watch it though, but yeah, like I just something I like and admire about Ray William Johnson is just the whole aura of authenticity and honesty in everything he does and says on camera. And that's just amazing. God, this is so I really miss him, man. I really miss his activity on YouTube and his show Equals Three. His YouTube is just not the same without him. It's just not the same without the show Equals Three. And I remember I used to really like his vlog too. There's something about the vlog that I just really liked. Yeah, so this is a different kind of video I'm making. I guess I'm just exploring different ways that I can do the channel, different things that people might like. Um, but yeah. Anyway, if you watched to the end of the video, comment below, let me know please. And yes, see you later.